I think the beauty of Mexico is that it's so vast. I always say that Mexico is a country that has very diverse, a lot of diversity. You have mountainous regions. I know a lot of people who live up in the mountains because it's a little bit more, a little bit cooler. It's not so damn hot all the time like it's in Playa del Carmen. I always say to people that I rather sweat than freeze, right? Because I'm from Sweden, so I'm used to having my toes cold all the time.
Right.
But I think that's the beauty of Mexico in general, that you have big cities, small sleepy beach towns, you have mountainous regions, you have beaches, gorgeous beaches, white sandy beaches. Basically, here in Playa del Carmen, we're in the middle of the Caribbean. The peninsula stretches out into the middle of the Caribbean Ocean. So there's something for everybody. And I think the land mass of Mexico is basically a third of the United States. So it's a
Yeah.
vast country with
It's
130 million
huge.
people. I mean, you've been traveling across Mexico, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So tell me a little bit about Monterrey. And the reason I ask is I've never been there, but I was reading articles about cartels and stuff near the Texas border and and horror
Yeah.
stories about some of the towns there. And so that just
All right.
made me like, I don't want to go anywhere
Let's see,
near
you're
there. But
freezing there,
I've
but I
recently
think
seen a couple
basically,
articles on
uh,
Monterrey, and I thought,
oh,
wow, that was pretty cool city. So what was your impressions of it?
but yeah, Monterrey is basically, I haven't been there personally, but I have friends from there and I know a lot of stuff from there. So basically, it's this industrial hub. And there's a lot of international companies also that's setting up shop there. So there's a lot of big corporations coming in. It's basically the high tech sector of Mexico. And like you say, it's a little bit up in the north. So I'm not sure I would say it's like a mafia or cartel city, but you know, it is closer
I'm sure it
to.
isn't.
Oh, it's a huge city. I mean, they have like well over 10 million people in that city, so it's a huge city.
Wow.
And you know, just to put that concern to sleep, that people always say that yeah, Mexico is so unsafe, and you know, you hear about the cartels and all of these trafficking and everything. I think that's also the machinery that wants to keep people back in your own home country. And of course, Mexico is not perfect. We have a lot of different problems, and we have cartel activities and different things that's happening.
Yeah.
But it's very concentrated to different areas and different places. So, for example, of course, along the border of the United States, there's a lot of more, you know, trafficking activity and cartel activity. But for example, down here in Playa del Carmen, there's nothing happening. In the big cities, it's also a very different story. But I think Monterrey is a very interesting place. I'm really looking forward to go there. I haven't been there yet, but you know, everything from Guadalajara and Mexico City and Monterrey, these are major cities with you know, millions and millions of people. So these are very, very interesting places, and they're super cheap. So I mean, you can find a lot of interesting food, a lot of cheap prices on everything. So it's definitely very interesting to explore.
Yeah, that's one of the attractions of Mexico is the flies and the and the fact that it's far more expensive. Like I have some friends here in Ahiki, and they're down here, and they said, yeah, like we can retire in Mexico. We would have to continue working if we were in the States, where we were living before. And so outside of Mexico, tell us about one of your favorite countries.
Well, just like you, I love Panama. So I guess I have to mention that, and it's not too far away. So I think Panama is also a very good option for Americans. It's not too far away, and you know, you have the American dollar. They use the American dollar together with something called the
Right.
Balboa, and it's 1 to 1, right? So you just don't have to change anything. Just use the dollar like back in the States. And what I like about Panama is that it's so compact. You can basically be on the Caribbean coast and the Pacific coast in the same day and enjoy, you know, different places. And they have amazing jungles and waterfalls. And there's a lot of great islands as well. I'm not sure if you went to Bocas del Toro.
No, but I went to San Blas, and that was amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing too. And it's so biodiverse. I mean, they have so much wildlife. And if you're into that, and, you know, there's so much exploring, and it's also very cheap once you get out of the big city. And even some areas in the big city is also very cheap. So I think Panama in general is a very interesting place. And We also help people get the residency there as well. So both in Mexico, Panama, Paraguay, countries like that. So if people are interested, they can visit instantresidency.com and we can help them out to carve out a plan to move abroad.